Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Whatever time you choosing to watch this podcast or broadcast or thing, whatever they call them these days, I hope that you're keeping well in these unprecedented, unsettled, but also quite exciting times for born-again Christians. One of my favourite books of the Bible is in the Old Testament, and some of you will probably know it. It's the book of Esther. It's a really exciting book with lots of peaks and troughs, and God comes out as the winner in the end, even though he's not actually mentioned in the book. One of the plots, the main plots in the story of Esther, is that Esther has to appear before her husband, who is the king, and basically ask him to take away a vow he's made to annihilate the Jewish race, a vow that he made really quite naively. And she's very worried about this because she would have to reveal to her husband, who was the king, that she was a Jew, and this could be quite a thing to reveal to him at that time. Her cousin Mordecai, who wrote the book of Esther, says to his cousin Esther, "This is something you have to do. Maybe you were born for such a time as this. Maybe you were born for such a time as this." Well, during these days, a lot of people are asking questions about, is this a movement of God? Is the return of Jesus imminent? I'm even being asked that question by non-Christians, which is actually quite interesting. And I think Christianity is in the media now and under the spotlight of the media, perhaps in a way that it hasn't been for many, many years. I don't feel qualified really to start giving dates or times about Jesus' return. I just know that Jesus is returning soon. Now, when soon is, I don't know. I only know it's sooner than when I started saying this sentence. So to say that the Lord is coming soon is just stating the obvious. He's coming. Remember, people in biblical times were expecting the return of Jesus at that time. So it's hard to predict and it's hard to say. But what I will say is it does seem that society is slowly going to his knees, and it's no better place than being on your knees to find a saviour like Jesus. I don't know how you feel in these times, but I feel a mixture of concern, worry, and also, as I said earlier, a time of excitement. You may think, what's going on in the world, and how can I as a born-again Christian deal with it? What can I do in this world? Well, let me say what Mordecai said to Esther. You were born for such a time as this. Your birth date was not a mistake. You were born for such a time as this. So my advice to you is get close to God. My advice to me, in fact, is to get close to God, close enough to hear his heartbeat. Society at the moment and the leaders of our country are being very wise in telling us to keep 2 meters apart. And that's good advice. But don't keep apart from Jesus at this time. Born-again Christian brother, born-again Christian sister, strap yourself in because it's going to be a bumpy but extremely exciting ride as the days, weeks and months unfold. Maybe what is happening at the moment is only temporary. Maybe it's the beginning of something else, or maybe it's long-term generally. Whatever happens, get close to God. Stay close to God. Stay close to God because you were born for such a time as this. Remember, worry small, pray large. Have a great day. You were born for such a time as this. God bless you.